Hey folks, John Peniel here. I hiked 42 miles in 2 days and I lived to tell about it. Okay, so I went on a crazy hiking adventure the past couple days. I came back yesterday. Um, what was it? Saturday morning, I decided to take a hike down a trail called the Centennial Trail. It's in Spokane. This trail goes on for about 40 miles through the city and through the country. And it goes into another state, the state of Idaho, actually, which is right next door. So that's what I did. I took a bus down to the Centennial Trail, and I started out on there on Saturday in the morning, about 7 in the morning. And it's a beautiful trail. It's right along the Spokane River. The whole trail goes along the Spokane River the whole way, all the way to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is about 30 miles away from here, from Spokane. So, what are some of the highlights? Uh, well, there's really, to be honest, not much to see when you're in the city. You're just seeing houses and whatnot. But as I walked along the trail for about 6 miles, eventually it turned into more of a country-like area, and it's really beautiful. Lots of trees and bushes, and it's very scenic along the whole way. Um, there's a highway that's kind of nearby, so you can kind of hear uh, the cars in the distance. But it's usually, for the most part, about, I don't know, about a quarter, about a couple, 300 yards away or so. So I was plodding along pretty well. I just had two small little backpacks on me. I brought along 5 quarts of water, so I figured that was enough. So I was drinking probably about, I don't know, a quart of water every 2 hours or so. And the temperature was fine. I started out 7 in the morning. The temperature was fine until about 11. It started getting a little warm, early mid 70s. Eventually got it to the early 80s. So the first 10 miles, I was just trotting along just pretty well. I was going at a good 3 miles per hour or so, and then I started at around the 10-mile mark, I could start feeling a little fatigue, but it wasn't big at all. I was still going strong. Uh, I was going strong until like the last mile. I only had one more mile to go. I was feeling strong, but let me tell you something. The energy from the sun was really impacting me really, really powerfully. It was just messing with my body a little bit. And I've mentioned this stuff before about the sun. The sun's been doing some different things lately over the past several months. Lots of solar flares, lots of different energies that are hitting that are hitting Earth, and it's causing a lot of different symptoms in people lately. Over the past half year or so, or thereabouts. And that's what was happening. I just only had one more mile to go. It was a 21-mile hike. By the way, I ended up in Post Falls, Idaho, and I spent the night at a motel over there. So the last mile, it just felt like my heart was starting to excel. It was just felt like my whole body was just filled with this sunlight energy that was just making my body feel, I don't know, different. It wasn't just mere heat. It wasn't just heat. It was impacting my central nervous system, so that I was feeling a little jittery, you know. And normally, I wouldn't feel this way out in the heat. I mean, it could be like 100 degrees, and I would just be real hot. I wouldn't. But the past 3 months, the sun's been putting out some different energies. It's just not like you're just feeling hot. It's doing some stuff inside your body. It's just real hard to explain. But that I eventually got there to the motel. So it's at the Lions Inn. I had to pay $200 for one night, but it was the only thing I could find. I wasn't going to sleep outside. I've done that before. I'm not going to do that. And I spent the night there and woke up the next morning. I didn't really feel too sore. I stretched a little bit. Then I headed out just before 8 o'clock in the morning, and I felt pretty strong. And it was more of the same. You know, it wasn't anything. It was actually it was a pretty uneventful trip as far as not running into any mishaps or anything. But it's just beautiful scenery along the way, and it was neat in that I got to hitchhike. Not hitchhike. I wasn't hitchhiking. I was walking through from one state to another. I never did that before. From Washington to Idaho and Idaho back to Washington. I've never done that before. Um, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I traveled from state to state, but not on foot. Let's see, what else? Da-da-da. Well, let me tell you, on the last 6 miles of the trip back home, uh, and I was thinking, I'm feeling reasonably strong. The heat was starting to kind of get a little, it wasn't like I was feeling hot. It was just, it was doing this weird stuff inside my body. It's just hard to explain. And so I said, well, I just got 6 more miles to go. That's nothing. Just trot that out like nothing. Well, let me tell you, that last 6 miles felt like 12 miles. It felt like it was going on forever. The last mile felt like it was 5 miles. I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? This is just a mile. But I cooled off. I went into the Spokane River and cooled off, and that helped. And I ended up strong, and I took the bus back home. So it's overall, it was a pretty good trip. I'm glad I did it. I just had the desire to do it. That I know if I squelch the desire, then that's not good. I don't believe a person should be squelching their desires. If they got something that they really want to do, I advise you, just do it. Otherwise, you'll regret not doing it. Because if you don't do it, then you just bottle it up and you become frustrated. And when you get frustrated, you'll do things that you normally don't want to do. You could be channeling that energy in a very wrong way, like whatever. It's different strokes for different folks. People can misdirect their energy in different ways. Some people drink or do drugs or whatever. Life is meant to be lived to the full, and one should just follow up on their desires. Don't squelch it. And it's like, oh man, I would love to do that. Don't say, well, I would love to do it. I advise you to do it. I can't stress that enough. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and God willing, I will do a show pretty shortly, maybe tomorrow. So much love to all. Shalom and namaste.